Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to Winning Women Network. I'm so excited. This is our spotlight hour that we do once a month. We actually bring out we bring out a woman that is winning in her business, whatever it may be. Honestly, we are actually right now highlighting DS domination and the success stories of women who are making money. Maybe some of them are not even recruiting. They're actually not even recruiting and still making an income on eBay and Amazon. But tonight we have none other than the boss lady herself, the Twitter boss. I mean, she is. I think she's going to tell her story, but I think she's actually a phenomenal young woman. I consider her to be just a great friend. I'm honored to actually know her. I'm honored to actually be in business with her. I've seen her grow through the years. Actually, she reminded me as we were talking before how she got started, and I was like, oh, yeah, I remember that and stuff. So I'm excited tonight to have Miss Tiffany Adams. I have none other than Miss Valerie Mason is here tonight, our interviewer extraordinary. You know, you guys know that if you're going to be interviewed, you want to be interviewed by Miss Valerie Mason because she's going to bring out the very best. So I don't want to take up any more time because I want Tiffany to have all the time, Tiffany and Valerie to have, all the time that they need tonight to actually get some questions answered. If you have some questions, I will be monitoring the chat, and I also will be monitoring the group. So if you have questions for Tiffany, this is actually her time, you guys. I'm telling you, she's a boss lady, okay? And before the interview, I was talking to her, and I was like, this chick is a boss, okay? So if you have questions for her, this is the time, right? This is the time to actually get your questions answered. We want you all to build your business. We want you to move forward in a powerful way, and so none other than the Spotlight Hour can help you do that. So, Miss Valerie Mason, my dear.
Hello.
Hello. You're so amazing.
Thank you for that introduction, Keisha. I'm always so happy to interview people. I find a lot of people want to hear these stories of how they began and where they're at and where they're going. And I get so much from it. So believe me, a lot of this is selfish. A lot of these questions are my own. And as Keisha said, you're going to have an opportunity to question Tiffany about her business, about her growth, about her brand. And every time I speak to Tiffany, I'm always like, I need to get on my game every time I speak to Tiffany because she's always doing something. And I've had the pleasure of meeting her, traveling with her, spending time with her, and I consider her just to be a phenomenal woman, a great business person, and I consider her a friend. So I'm going to get right to it, and I just want to introduce to you Tiffany Adams, the Twitter queen, the boss lady, the businesswoman extraordinaire. Tiffany, how are you tonight?
I am doing fine. Thank you, Valerie. Thank you, Keisha. And can I just say something, right? I saw one time when Chris Tucker was on Oprah, he was like, you know what? I'm on Oprah. I have finally made it. So I'm on the Winning Women Hangout tonight. You know what I mean, you guys? I have finally made it, So I'm just honored to be here. I really am.
I love it.
It's a blessing to be on the Winning Women Hangout with these two phenomenal women and to share my story and hopefully to inspire someone out there who's listening to build their own success story. And that's really what boss is about. It's not about me being the boss. It's about individuals building their own success story.
Awesome. Well, you've already started off. So Tiffany, so we're all in this wonderful business right now, but everybody has a story of how they got there. And it's not always a direct line. And people seem to think they watch us, they watch you, and it's like, look at the success she's having. She's the boss lady, she's this. But people don't know just how you got there and what did you have to overcome. So my first question is, Tiffany, what has gotten you to this point? Whether you want to discuss what's gotten you to this point in your brand or in your business or in your life, just what's gotten you to this point?
Sure. So we was chatting a little bit before we started here, and actually, my background is in chemistry and biochemistry, and after I decided that I didn't want a PhD, I actually went and got an MBA. All right, so I knew somewhere along the line that I would need a business degree for something. That's how I felt. So a few years back, 2009, actually was incorporated with my own business, and I started selling my own jewelry and my custom fragrance. And of course, the name of that fragrance is called Love. All right, so I'm gonna show you guys the bottle. Okay, I don't know if you can see it. As you can see, it's a curvy bottle. It represents love. The heart, and of course, it represents a woman. So that's how I got it started. And so I had my website, my e-commerce website I was running, and I wanted to get more traffic to my website. I didn't want to bother my family and friends about my perfume and my jewelry, but I wanted, new customers to my website. So I ran across this guy. He had this program called High Traffic Academy, and he promised that he could show you how to get more customers and more traffic to your website. I said, well, that sounds pretty good to me, So I wasn't interested in promoting it, I wasn't in the affiliate thing. I just wanted to learn some information to help me build my business. And lo and behold, this particular person got into another business, and I tried that out for a while, but I really wasn't into the online marketing thing. I didn't understand the whole funnel system and the capture pages. I was trying to learn. I upgraded a little bit, but I was like, I just want to get traffic to my site. But my mind started to kind of roll. I'm like, okay, I get what people are doing. They're making a lot of money on the internet. What is this all about? So I did invest a little bit in that program that he was in as well. But it really wasn't for me. So I got into another business, another online business where I was recruiting, to get people to learn how they can save money on travel, which for me, that was, pretty good because I like to travel. I can really speak about traveling. And so somewhere along the line, me and Keisha Bass, we ran our paths together, And so we just started chatting and connecting. And in 2013, I actually looked, it was actually November the 25th of 2013, she introduced me to DS Domination. Now, that made a lot of sense to me, all right? One, because I've already been trying to sell things online. I had jewelry and makeup and stuff like that. And secondly, because a lot of what I do in my professional career involves me drop shipping product all over the world. So it actually made a lot of sense to me. And that brought me into DS Domination. I joined in November 2013. I didn't do anything with it until January, and that's why I always tell people I really started in January the 20th of 2014 because on January 21st is when I actually listed my first product. So that's sort of how I got into this business of DS Domination, and there you go.
So you have done other things before, which I find really interesting.
Mm-hmm.
I just had a question. So you were doing jewelry and perfume.
Mm-hmm.
And since now you've been in DS Domination, are you still doing that? Are you still selling your own jewelry and perfume? Are you doing that now?
Yes, actually, I had a vendor before who was supplying me with the jewelry, and so now using the Genesis product, I'm like, why didn't I know this before, right? Like, why didn't I know this? It makes it a lot easier. So I just got approved in the category of jewelry to sell on Amazon, so I'm excited about bringing out that same brand to my fashions and selling on Amazon now. And, I have an audience now on Facebook. I'm learning more about Facebook marketing, so I'm very excited to get that jewelry out there and just market a little bit more. Yes, I'm still selling jewelry. Perfume, I actually have to ship that from my home because it does contain alcohol. So, Amazon doesn't want to play with that, which I understand. So I have to ship it out myself, and I still sell jewelry and perfume. Yes.
Wow. I think that's really cool because you just basically found another vehicle to do what you were already doing. I think that's amazing. So, Tiffany, are you a full-time entrepreneur? Are you a part-time entrepreneur? Do you have a job? I mean, tell us, how do you spend your time?
Yeah, I work a full-time job, so I give them now religiously 8 hours. I used to give them a little bit more, but I'm learning to give them 8 hours. That's all they give me. That's all I'm going to give them. It's 8 hours, all right? I used to be that very ambitious woman, who just wanted to succeed, and I still am, but I'm learning to give them 8 hours. All right. So if I can give you guys a tip tonight, if you're working full time and you're trying to build a business or a brand, give the job what's due them, and what is due them is 8 hours. All right. And that's what's due them. Everything else is your time. So I had to learn that. So yes, I do work full time as a project manager. I work as an operational project manager, meaning that I drop ship product over the world. We actually work with bringing product into our manufacturing. So we take something from a concept to an idea, and then we drop ship it all over the world. So I mean, doesn't that sound like Genesis a little bit, right? Sound like Genesis?
It does.
The marketing people and the R&D come up with a product. We in manufacturing, we put it together, we make it happen, we put the labels and all that stuff up there, and then I manage it being shipped to the end customer. And a lot of time the end customer is another distributor, and Amazon is a distributor. So it just all makes sense. Like I said, this business to me made sense because it was in line with what I was already doing. Am I a part? I don't know. How do you define a part time? How many hours is part time?
That's a really good question because there are a lot of people who, when they think about a full-time entrepreneur, they think about someone who does not have a quote-unquote 9 to 5. However, if you're putting in 8 hours to your job, and you're also coming home and you're working your business 6, 7, 8 hours, what does that mean? And then you just have 8 hours to sleep. So I think a better question might be for you is, how many hours do you spend on your business, whether it's per day or per week? Because I think you also travel a lot for your business.
I do. I travel for my company a lot.
Okay.
So I would say between 25 to 35 hours a week, depending on the week, but at least a minimum 20 hours a week doing something related to my business.
Right.
And so yeah, I do travel with my company. So right before Atlanta, you guys, some of you knew I was in Germany that entire week. That actually came up after the conference was announced. So I had negotiated, like, hey, I need to leave instead of being there all day Friday and leaving Saturday morning. So I need to leave, Friday morning in order to be in Atlanta because I wanted to make sure I had some sleep before Saturday morning at least. So that worked out. So I actually think that was a blessing to be able to just coordinate that. And they flew me from Germany into Atlanta and from Atlanta back to DC. So that was a blessing. And they paid up the ticket.
How do you balance it all? So you work your job, you give them a good 8 hours, and then you have to take into account the traveling, and then you're building your business. How do you find the time for it all? Do you consider yourself to be super organized, or not? How do you break down your time and determine when you're going to build, and what parts of the business do you build?
Sure. So last year, I must say that although I'm a project manager and I'm very organized and I launch products all the time, I really got unorganized last year. And I think it was a combination of things that was going on. It just kind of got me off my game a little bit. But coming back in 2015, one of the things I was sharing with Keisha earlier is that I'm taking the first quarter really to get organized. And so what that means for me is I need to put systems in place so that in April, May, June, and the rest of the year, or the rest of my business things are in place that I can run my business a lot more efficiently. So one of the things I am doing is getting more organized, getting back to being organized. So I do build both sides of the business, the e-commerce side and the affiliate side. And the affiliate side, now that I have a lot of content out there, even though I need to put more content, and I'm working on getting more content out there. The good news is I have a lot of videos related to DS domination. I have a lot of videos on information on Twitter, information on Google Plus, and on Facebook about the business. So people who are looking, they actually are still coming to my YouTube channel. They still find me on Google Plus, and they're able to connect with me about the business. So I think this week I signed up 5 people in my business. They've all connected through social media. So that was the beauty of it. Not a solo ad or anything like that, but just simply through social media. So the key thing I would tell anybody, especially if you're working full-time, is to get a system that works for you. All right. I don't have any children, so I have a little bit more flexibility, but I'm very involved with my church and my church community. I still mentor young women out here in my area in areas of math and science, because that's my background. So you have to get a schedule that works for you. So that means some days I may work my part-time with my business for like 6 hours, and other days will be 2 hours. But the key thing is, and I tell my team this, is to keep a balance, right? You still need a balance. And this is one thing I've learned last year, is to make sure you have a balance of your business, of your life, and your work. Because life is going to go on. You have, children, or you have a spouse or significant other, whoever you have in your life. Just make sure that you have a system that allows you to keep balance in your life.
I think that's really important. I think especially when you're trying to do so many things, you're working, and those of you who have families, and then you're building your business, and you also want to take the time to reward yourself. You want to take time to have some downtime. I mean, we're not going to just do all of this and then just get completely burned out. That's not the point. But Tiffany, you made a really great point about how your social media is still working for you even when you're not. And I think a lot of people, they're looking for ways that can help their business grow while they're not actually at their business. So my question is, would you share with us 3 of your top marketing tips, or 3 of your marketing tips, and then I want to ask you about your favorite social media platform. So if you can give us 3 marketing tips that are just helping you grow your business while you're busy with your church and you're mentoring people and you're traveling and you're working. So what could you give our audience?
You know, when you're marketing, when you start marketing, this is something that came up at our DMV group yesterday. I tell people, go with you're strong with, right? So not everyone today is an expert internet marketer, right? They don't really know internet marketing well, but what they do know, they know health, they know how their mother, their father, they love scandal. Go with what you're strong with and start building a community around what you're strong with. All right, and once you have that community that you've built, you can now begin to introduce other things to that community. And to that community, they may mean, you know, showing them how they can make money, you know, or showing them how they can buy that coat that Olivia Pope has, you know, that they probably can't afford right now, you know, or showing them how they can be single and be working on paying off their student loans. So building a community around, that's my first marketing tip. Be who you are and start with that first as you begin build other skill sets around marketing your business. All right, so build a community. Another thing I want to share is to be consistent. You know, that's something that we all may struggle with from time to time, is being consistent. But if you're on Facebook, if you're on Twitter, if you're emailing, whatever you're doing videos, just be consistent at it. And sometimes that consistency isn't necessarily every day. That consistency could be every other day. They're looking for an email from you or a blog post from you or a video from you, or maybe every Friday you give out an inspirational message. So every Friday they're looking for that inspirational blog or that video, whatever it is that you do. So be consistent. So start with what you know, lead with your strong point, all right, and be consistent at whatever it is that you're doing. And the third thing I want to tell people, you know, have fun with it. Don't overstress this at all. Don't overstress this business. I don't care what business that you're in. You're in it to make money and hopefully have some freedom. And with that freedom should be less stress. You should be building a life of freedom that you want. I don't care what business you're in, right? You know, so have fun with it and reduce the stress. Take the stress out of this business. Okay?
Wow. Wow. Okay, I hope you got that. I hope you got, what did she... Build a community. Isn't that something that everybody wants? They want to feel like they belong. They want to feel like they have something in common. They want to have someone they can talk to and share their same feelings and passions. So I thought that was just awesome, being consistent. And I think that's really a great point, that a lot of people think consistency is every single day. And then they start to feel like, oh, no, I can't do that. Maybe not yet you can't, but starting to put something in place every other day, I thought that was really great. So I got to ask this, and even though I already know the answer, but what is your favorite social media platform and why?
Well, Twitter is my favorite social media platform. One is because my attention span is not that long, right? So on Facebook, you know, you guys write these long posts, and, you know, I can't get past sentence number 3. But with Twitter, you know, if I like the post and you said something at the end that I didn't agree with, I apologize later, you know. But, you know, so with Twitter, you have 140 characters to get to the point, you know, and to get people engaged with your conversation no matter what it is. You know, you can just say good morning, how you doing, and, you know, just you don't have to say, you know, you don't have to recite a book. You can just say good morning, how you doing, get people engaged. So I love Twitter. I think it's a very underused platform of social media, and I think people don't really understand how to use it. But I just love it because you really do have 140 characters to really get to the point, and you can actually build a community quite easily, a lot easier than Facebook on Twitter. I think a lot of people don't realize that. You know, once you get there and start being engaging, people are used to being engaging on on Facebook, but they forget you can still be have that same engagement on Twitter. Now, I will tell you that my second favorite one, which is rising slowly, well above Facebook already, is actually Google+. Google+ is a well underused platform as well. One reason why I got on Google+ is because at work, because of the security issues, we can't get on social media. So, but you can get on Google+. It's connected to Google. And so I started to build a community on Google+, and I actually got quite a few signups from Google+. So think outside of the box. You know, Facebook is great. I believe in Facebook, but there are also other platforms on social media. So think about Google+ and also think about Twitter.
So question, and this is I always want to ask you this. Okay, because everybody knows Facebook and Twitter, that everyone decides, like, I'm going to go and stick to Facebook, I'm going to go and stick to Twitter. Were you on Twitter before you started working with DS Domination? Were you on Twitter long before then?
Yes, I was. I was on Twitter long before DS Domination, and that was, like, for a long time the only one I was on because Facebook was giving me so many issues. You know, the friend requests I couldn't inbox. It was just so many things going on with Facebook I couldn't keep up. but Twitter was very consistent. And so I was on a platform. I used to tweet like every 15 minutes because what I realized is that the more you tweet, the more people see your feed because there's so much going on your feed on Twitter. I don't know if you notice, it's just like people are always chatting all the time, and so many tweets per day, and then your tweet just get lost. Now, although everyone on Twitter will see your tweets, they may not see it at the time you want them to see it because you just get lost in all the tweets. So I used to tweet every 15 minutes, and it would be anything, right? It could be a blog post. I may say, hey, I'm listening to Pandora today. Here's the song I'm listening to. Pandora was retweeting me because I was giving them a shout out, so quotes and different things like that. And I will also have my links. So a lot of people had known me from Twitter but been in a business, and they connect with me there. So, yeah.
Can I ask a question? I'm like in school. like
yes,
we're in school now.
Mrs. Bass.
Can I ask a question? So Tiffany, can I ask you, how did you get started on Twitter? I know that's not a Twitter interview, but like, how did you get started on Twitter?
Well, the thing about it is that even though a lot of the security systems at my job, and I hate to say this, right, they blocked everything on my phone, I was still able to get a signal for Twitter because even in these places that I'm at, you couldn't get security, you couldn't get on Facebook, but Twitter seemed to still be able to get on the phone, so I would be able to tweet or respond to a tweet while I was at work, and that's really why I started getting on Twitter because I could use it at work.
So you didn't like take any training or anything, or you just kind of learned on your own?
I did not. I went on. See, this is one thing I do. When someone is having a free training, I don't care who it is. I jump on their free training because you're going to always learn something. You don't have to buy every product that's out there, but if they have a free training and they're showing you some tips and some tricks, I would get on the training. I did reach out last year and buy a Twitter course, but before then, I was just actually learning from learning. Learning from YouTube, learning from whoever I saw was doing a Twitter training, I would hop on their training. And I do that now, actually with anything, with videos, with blogging. If there's a free training, I'd hop on that training because I'm always going to learn something. If not, I just unsubscribe from their email list.
Oh my goodness. Okay, that's good. Okay. I was just wondering because I'm like, I have Twitter, but I think I told you this too at the conference. I'm like, I have like 7,000 followers, and I swear to you, I'm like, what are these people talking about? It's like so much stuff, it's like, I think it's like, for me, it's like Facebook is like simple, newsfeed, boom, who's saying what, you know what I'm saying? But like on my Twitter, it's like, who are these people? Like, oh my God, what are they talking about? How am I supposed to respond to them? I don't know.
Well, the thing about Twitter too, because it's so easy to build a community, sometimes people are just following you, right? So it's easy to weed out the people who are really following you because they're engaged with your content, or the people just trying to build followers themselves. And sometimes you don't even know people are following you until they say, hey, I saw that you had tweeted this before. Can you really make money in this business? I'm like, well, who are you, right? But you go back and find out that they're following you and that you connected with them. I actually had a lady who joined my business late fall last year, and we had connected. Honestly, I forgot that we had connected, but we had connected early that summer. And, we connected a couple of tweets, and I told her about the business. We got into a conversation. I told her about the business. And at that time, she wasn't interested. So when she joined back in late fall, I really didn't remember who she was. I said, hey, just want to, how do we meet? Because she just joined the business. And she said, yeah, we tweeted a while back. And at that time, she was working a full-time job. Everything in her life was pretty kosher. And so come that fall, she remembered the conversation that we had on Twitter. And she decided to, because she'd been following me, right? I've been consistent with my actions, and she'd been following me. She decided to sign up for DS Domination.
Wow.
That happened, and that's just like your email list, right? We talk about emailing people every single day, but that's all social media is. When you start building that consistency, you're like emailing them, you're communicating with them every day. And again, it's not always about Joy DS Domination. She was just following me. She's actually in my local area, which is even better. So we connected as well.
Well, here's something I remember you mentioned at the UOP event. For those of you who were not at the Atlanta event, where Tiffany just like dropped the mic on Twitter training, and I have like all these notes like, why didn't I know this stuff? This stuff is so simple. But one thing that you mentioned was that Twitter is international. Mm-hmm. And I think you have a rather large international team, and you said you got them from Twitter.
Right. because you can auto post on Twitter all the time, right? While you're sleeping, they're up, they're on Twitter, they're doing something, right? So you can consistently tweet with them, and people all over the world are looking for a way to make money. Right? Everybody all over the world is looking for a way to make money. And so when I meet people from different parts of the world, I just kind of say, hey, can you get a PayPal account? If you can get a PayPal account, you can get an eBay account, we can do business. So I had people literally all over the world. One lady, she was in Lebanon. Now, if anyone knows anything about Lebanon, it is a lot of things going on in that country. But she was so passionate. She was actually in my previous company trying to recruit, people in the business, and she joined DS Domination. She was so passionate about building her business and making money. In Lebanon, they actually have time when the the power is on. So she would schedule her time to work on her business when the power was on. And I just thought that was so amazing that here someone is in another part of the world looking to make money online. She's actually has to schedule her time between doing whatever she has to do with her family, her kids, doing homework, just to get online to try to build her DS Domination business. So there's people all over the world who are passionate about changing their financial income. And I think sometimes we get a very complacent place because we do have a job, or our husbands have a job, our spouse have a job, and we think, oh, I can eventually get there. But really, at any given time, just like the young lady who lost her job and who joined my team later that fall, or people all over the world, they're looking to make income. So if you got an international business, connect with the people who are on Twitter internationally. Find out where the international people hang out at. If you're looking to recruit from Canada, where do they hang out at on Twitter? I don't know the answer to that. But I'm saying this is market research. And this goes back to doing market research on your target market. If you're targeting stay-at-home women who live in Canada who want to make more money, or just stay-at-home women in general, or men or whoever, or maybe the Canadian hockey team if you're a guy, where do they hang out at? Start connecting with them, following them, and then start tweeting, again, building that community around hockey, for example. And I'm sure putting DS Domination in there, whatever business that you're in, about how they can make money with your opportunity.
Hey, Keisha, are you there? I got a question for you, Keisha.
Yeah.
Keisha, I remember, this was a long time ago, when Tiffany did an amazing international hangout. I actually watched that hangout, and a lot of people were so, impressed by her hangout. Don't you want to see her do another international hangout?
Mm-hmm.
Don't you think it's time? Who wants to see Tiffany? Keisha, can you post that in our Facebook group? Who wants to see Tiffany have another international hangout? Because I think it's really impressive. Here you are, in America with this big international team who are clearly doing well, and you know how to service them. So who wants to see Tiffany have another international hangout? I just thought it was so impressive.
Setup.
I know it's a major setup. Because, I had people come to me at the event, and they were like, can we do more international things? And I kid you not, I immediately thought of you. So, so it was a bit of a setup, but we want some people to be engaged here. Who's watching? Who's, wants some more, another international hangout? I mean, it's great to see us doing this here in the States, but, DSD is not just about people here in the States. They're all over. They're from Canada. They're from the UK. They're from Africa. They're from Australia. They're from New Zealand. They're from all over. So,
and one lady came to the event. We had someone, where was she from?
Oh, my goodness, yes. Anne, who came all the way from Australia for 18 hours.
Mm-hmm.
Just crazy. So we definitely have a dedicated team. So Tiffany, would you be willing to do another international hangout?
Absolutely.
Oh, so here she is now. Now we don't add a hangout to her schedule.
Tiffany, how many comments we have to do? Okay, so I'm the Facebook person. I'm the Facebook person. How many likes do we need?
We gotta show you want this.
Yeah. I see one like on here. I got 10.
No.
Okay, I got 3 likes now. No, we need at least
one like.
Right, 17,000. People. We need more likes than this. Okay.
Right? Need more likes. Need more likes for Saturday morning hangout.
Okay, we want her to give up her day and stuff.
Right, you want her to give up her time. Here she is. She's built this huge community. She's talking about Twitter.
Team Bahamas.
On her side, the affiliate side, and she's willing to do an international hangout, which means She's going to customize this for a time that's beneficial to those who are international, which means that's going to be more of an inconvenience on her part. But she's going to do it. So no, 1 or 2 likes is not going to work. So
we have, I want to shout out to Team Bahamas. There's Team Bahamas watching the hangout tonight, and they are like, yes, please do the international hangout. We're leaving no money on the table too. International teams are on the move. Okay.
There we go.
So we are.
The UK might be asleep right now, but that's okay.
That's okay.
From the UK, during I have team calls, and I looked up and I had a couple of people from the international team who got on my calls 2 o'clock in the morning. Their time.
That's dedication.
I was like, wow.
Those are serious people.
Yeah, those are the people who just need a little bit more nuggets to build their business. So
right, I agree.
Nice.
So Tiffany, my question: you're building the e-commerce side and the affiliate side. So for those of you who don't know, you can learn how to sell on eBay and on Amazon. So my question is, are you selling on both platforms, one platform? Do you prefer one over the other? So I'm curious to see how you started with DSD.
Sure. I started DSD selling on eBay. All right. My first item that I sold was a pregnancy pillow. I tell anybody that. Don't have any kids, never had any children, but I just literally followed the training, and that was selling. Okay, that was a hot item selling, and I listed it, and again, followed the training, and it sold. Okay, it sold within my first 5 days of January of 2014. So I really got comfortable on eBay. I was selling on eBay, and then after I really didn't do much with Monopoly. I will tell you that I didn't do much with Monopoly. So I slept on Monopoly a lot. So I started to get in Monopoly in the spring of last year, fall last year. So I get into Monopoly. Sorry, summer, fall, get into Monopoly. And then we got Genesis. Actually, I'm another person. I got Genesis too. I slept on Genesis a little bit. Not because I didn't think it would work. It's just like, okay, I got to, things started to happen in my personal life. And it was just like, I got to get all this stuff. I told you, I got really disorganized last year. But I did get some boxes in. I did go to Toys R Us. I did get some of those boxes in, which was good. It was really good for me to get those items in early. Now, I still had some things I didn't ship in before I left to go to North Carolina in November. But I really saw the power of Amazon, and I saw the power of FBA, because when I was at home the last 2 months of the year, I actually shut off eBay because I couldn't deal with, drop shipping. I just didn't have that type of time, and I also dropped my listings from drop shipping on Monopoly. And while I was at home and I was taking care of my father, I was actually, selling stuff on Amazon using the Genesis training. And that opened up a huge benefit for me. I'm like, okay, this is what I really need to be focused on for me, for my lifestyle, for what I do, okay? I need to focus on the Genesis platform, that when I'm out and about, that my money is still coming in. And so that was a huge eye-opener for me, to really get focused on the Genesis part of the business, so that money can be made when I am doing whatever it is that I'm doing. Okay, so the Genesis platform. So if you're not at Genesis, you guys, if you're in DS Domination, you're watching this business, definitely you want to get started on the $20 level. But if you've been in this business, I'll be honest with you, if you've been in this business for 2 or 3 months and you genuinely have the money to upgrade, all right, you should definitely upgrade in this business. Now, I don't really care what business that you're in. If you believe in that company, you should be upgraded in your business so you get the full benefit of what that program is offering. But in DS Domination, we know that the e-commerce platform is a very powerful platform. So if you want to figure out, okay, how I'm going to pay bills or how I'm going to get money coming in, we have some phenomenal products, and you really should be invested in your business. And again, the Genesis platform was an eye-opener for me. Even I was at home, my mom and I went shopping. She loves a discount store and all this stuff. And I really didn't want to hang out with her because my mom can be in stores for a long time. She can. So I was out there, so let me walk around this store so we can find. I was finding things for 69 cents, selling them on FBA Amazon for $9.99. That was my price. I found so many items in that store. And I told Keisha when I was at home, I said, I was so ambitious going out getting all this stuff. I got to ship this stuff back before I leave to get on this plane, because Mom is not going to keep it in the house. I was like, I'm being way too ambitious right now. But I did. I packed it all up, and I even was able to ship some more things to Amazon while I was at home, because I just, at that moment, the cutting and paste drop shipping just wasn't convenient for my lifestyle. But the beauty of it is, it doesn't matter what your lifestyle is. This business can fit your lifestyle. So that's just my tidbit on that. I just think people really need to invest in their business, because they truly are missing out on money. They really are.
Got you. That was really great advice. And that leads me to another question. We have a lot of people, there are always new people in the business, and they come in and they're really excited. They pay their $20. And then sometime, then they go into a group and they're watching people have tremendous success. And then they go, but it hasn't happened for me yet. I've been in the business for a few days, a week, 2 weeks, and I'm starting to feel discouraged. So, and it doesn't happen often, but I think it's something that needs to be addressed. And you gave some really great advice there. So, what advice would you give to someone who just started this business? They believe in it, and some people, they're just totally new to this type of business or just being an entrepreneur. What advice would you give them to keep them encouraged, especially if they're watching testimonials, instead of feeling uplifted, they're feeling just kind of just not feeling like this is going to work for them?
Well, the one thing I will tell you about e-commerce is that people go to eBay, Amazon every single day and they buy something, okay? They buy something. So we know that e-commerce works. So what you have to really do is figure out, what do I need to do to make the business work? All right, so you can congratulate people, congratulate people on their success, but at the end of the day, you shouldn't feel jealous or upset about what people are doing, nor should you feel defeated about the results you're not getting yet. You have to figure out, okay, every single day, someone is going to eBay and Amazon, and they're buying stuff. All right, so what do I need to do? So I need to go back through the training? Yes. Do I need to go and tweak my titles? Yes. Is there a webinar that I have not reviewed? Okay, review your webinars. What training about, maybe I need to upgrade to Elite. Okay, maybe that's the answer. Maybe there's additional training in Elite. But one thing you have to continue doing, and I don't care what you are. I mean, as you can see, I'm big on education. You have to continue learning and growing. If you say I'm giving up, I'm getting, it's not working for me, you're kind of defeating yourself right there. But you got to keep saying, what do I need to do? What skill sets I need to have? What education do I need to get in order to get results that someone else is getting? Because they didn't just get those results because they woke up one day and posted 10 items on Amazon and eBay. These individuals were consistent. They went through the training, they watched the videos, they upgraded. And I think Becky's a prime example. She was saying, she's a very educated person. She said at one time she was making like no money, right? But based on the time she was putting in the business and the money she was making, and then she just kept learning, she kept investing in her business, and the number one income earner in the UOP. So it's just, what do I need to do to continue my education in this business to make it work? But just don't get defeated. Don't get defeated, because if you get defeated, you might as well just give up, right? You might as well give up, but don't get defeated because you think you're not making the results. The fact that you actually are in the business and that you're trying and that you're reaching out, you're already doing so much better than someone who decided to pass up on this opportunity. You just got to hang in there a little bit longer and keep getting the education and keep working at your business until you get your results. Here's another thing. You may never make as much money in your first year as Becky or as Dante or as Valerie or Keisha. And that is absolutely okay. If you made $10,000 this year, $20,000 this year, $30,000 this year, that is a lot of money. And people would love to be in your position, not to have to work part-time to make $30,000, $40,000, $50,000. So, don't get too discouraged about the results of somebody else, because that's their results. Okay, you just have to stay focused on what your goal is and what your expected outcome needs to be. Hope that makes sense.
Can we get the collection plate?
Right, I was about to say, you better preach.com, okay? Because that's true, Timmy, because even if you make an extra $500 and you could do it at your house and you didn't have to go and work and be a waitress or, or like go work at Ross, I don't know, go pick up a part-time job, and you made an extra $1,000 in a whole, then, man, you're winning.
You're winning.
Wow, that was good. Yeah, that was good. You can send all offering to P.O. Box.
It's true. I mean, there's a during the whole financial crash, when the whole housing crash happened, and so many people were losing their homes. The number one thing I heard was that an additional $500 would have kept these people in their homes. I mean, so just imagine if you made an extra $500 this month, times 12 months, that's $6,000. $6,000, like Keisha said, you'd have to go out and find a job. You'd have to find health care. You'd have to spend money on gas. You didn't have to figure out, okay, I'm going to spend time going here. Then you have to do with the commute. I mean, this is something that you were able to do from home. So I thought that was an excellent point, that you give yourself the credit where credit is due.
Right.
So Tiffany, what do you feel has been the most instrumental part of your success? Whether it's the eBay, Amazon, affiliate, whatever. What do you feel has been the most instrumental for you?
Oh, the most instrumental. Okay, you know what I will say? Okay, I will say this, and I'm not crying. I remember when I got in the other company I was in, and I was talking to my dad about it, because you guys may not know, my dad was an entrepreneur. He went to business school, so he was a numbers guy. I mean, he could count your money before you could count your money. And then as a result of him being a business guy, when he started pastoring, he was able to build 3 churches, bought plenty of property. He died a pretty wealthy man. And so he's always been a numbers guy. And so when I got into, DS domination, he said, I think you found something that will work, right? And I was like, Dad, I signed up, 15 people this month. He's like, well, that's pretty good. So I really wanted him to see my success. I wanted him to see my success in this business because, my dad is, he's very ambitious and he had high standards for me. I always used to say I was the boy he didn't have, right? Because I love my brothers, but I was a daddy's girl. I was his favorite. I was. But he told me in 2013, there's something that kind of stung me a little bit. He said, by now, I thought you would have been a millionaire.
Wow.
And I was like, okay, that jabbed a little bit, He said, by now, I thought you would have been a millionaire. And I know everyone's path to success is different, but I was like, man, I didn't quite follow his path of success, as being in the ministry in that way. But I was like, okay, I got to make this work, because I really wanted my dad to see me become a millionaire before he passed. So that was my biggest drive with this domination. And I was like, hey, Dad, I found out somebody today, and he asked me what's going on. And, we would chat about this domination a lot, actually, a lot.
Wow. So your dad was the most instrumental in your success.
He was.
I think this was the first time, and I've asked this question many times, and I think that was the first time I ever heard the answer being someone that they loved. I thought that was pretty significant, because I think that sometimes we forget. It's like, yeah, we have the training, we have the community, we have this, but there's someone who's in your corner, and sometimes you need to remember that they really helped you get there. So I thought that was really nice. I think that's a very nice testimonial to your dad, because I remember when you were going through that.
Yeah.
So, who do you follow? Who are your mentors? Who are the people that you enjoy listening to, you get value from? As we tell people all the time, you have to continue to build yourself while you build your business. And there's no way, Tiffany, you could have had this amount of success without listening to certain people to guide you. So besides your dad, who else was instrumental?
Because I didn't listen to him that much, to be honest with you.
That's hard to believe.
I should have listened to him more, right? I have two areas I'm gonna focus on here. I'm very spiritual, as some of you may know. So I listen to Juanita Bynum. I listen to D.D. Jakes on the spiritual side. I really love their material that they have out. But on the opposite side, I actually love Tony Robbins. I'm a huge Tony Robbins fan. And I like the way his delivery, and it's not always about internet marketing, but the way he talked about changing your mindset and your belief system it's so phenomenal. So it doesn't really matter what you're doing. I'm a huge fan of Tony Robbins. I'm a huge fan. So Tony Robbins, if anybody's out there on YouTube, if you want to, let me connect with him or something like that, I would love to meet him. I would love to meet Tony Robbins one day, and I do plan to meet him one day. So yeah, but I love Tony Robbins. I do have a spiritual side where I do listen to people in that community, but I also love Tony Robbins as well. So he's been I love him. Yeah.
What's your favorite Tony Robbins book?
Awaken the Giant Within. I love it.
That's a great book.
It's a great book. And even though it was written about 20 years ago, it's still so.
It doesn't matter.
It's still today.
And it seems like I saw something on Facebook that came through my news feed that you could download it for free or something like that. It was because I love Tony Robbins.
They have different audios, and I think you may be able to download portions of it for free.
Okay.
But the book is still, I mean, the book is like, you know, you can get it on eBay. I had a couple of people who was reading the book last year, and I think they bought like $5 off eBay. I was like, I went to eBay and bought it. I was like, okay. But yeah, Awaken the Giant Within is a great book by Tony Robbins. It really gets you in your mindset where you're thinking now. And if you can just get through that, you know, if you can just change where you're thinking, if you can just refocus, and I don't want to say change as if you're thinking is wrong today, but sometimes we just have to reassess our current belief system. I don't care what it is. You know, I have a very strong belief system, I believe, but it still gets me to thinking in some ways, you know, what do I need to change or adjust, you know. So I highly recommend that book.
Okay. Well, we're here at the point where we're going to start letting the audience ask questions. So I want everybody to start posting your questions in the chat there. But before we start asking questions, I got one more. I got a lot more. But I got one more I want to ask you. What is next for you? What is next for you, whether it's personally or your business or your brand? What's next for Tiffany?
Yeah, so that's a great question. And I think that no matter what business you're in right now, you know, this is probably a stepping stone to something else, right? So my next stepping stone for me is really to build my brand called Love Me Curvy. So, you know, the love has already been copyrighted in 2010, I believe. That's when we copyrighted. That's been out there. Whether you knew about it or not, Love Me Curvy is not anything I just made up today. It's been a brand that's been established and copyrighted in the United States, patent office since 2010. So my brand is Love Me Curvy. It really is about building the curvy, confident, and courageous women. And so I want to do more public speaking in that area, and I have a couple of things planned this year already on the book, so I'm excited about that.
Wow.
Actually, beginning of this year, I launched a health challenge, and I have people in that health challenge. You know, that was a paid health challenge, and people are getting healthier in that challenge. So that was a success. I was excited about that as well. And then more products related to the brand. So you'll see the Love Me Curvy brand come out a little bit more. So I want to spend that. Thank you.
Awesome. Now, who does not see Tiffany becoming a millionaire? Like, with all of that happening, okay?
I'm just waiting for the bank. I always say, Tiffany, I'm just waiting for the bank to realize, you know what I'm saying? Like, there's a deposit slip. Yeah, they just didn't, like, they're waiting on the deposit slip. So, because I've always told you, I love you. I think that you are amazing. I mean, if, you know, to have the opportunity to just do business with you and connect with you, it's just phenomenal. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's, you know, I love to have, you know, strong women of color, you know, and we can respect each other where we are and what we do. I have so much respect for, you know, for who you are and how you run business. Your dad did an amazing job, you know, and I told you that. He did an amazing job with you. So I'm sure that, you know, yeah, you're just waiting on the deposit slip. So it's cool. It's all good. You already did it. You already are a millionaire. I mean, you already are. You know, it's all good though. So
love you too, Keisha and Valerie. It's been a blessing to be a part of this community. And I remember, you know, I knew Keisha for a while, so when I finally got a chance to meet you guys in Vegas last year, it was just so phenomenal. I fell in love with both of you guys. So just, you know, it's amazing to be a part of this community. And that's what, you know, the UOP. Let me give a shout out real quick to the Unit of Prosperity. You guys out here watching this, and, you know, you want to get started in business, and maybe you looked at other teams, but this is really a community that you can really build upon, you know, and we're all here for each other. And so just if you're thinking about joining DS Domination, you're looking for a community to really help you build your business and to help build you as an individual. Because really, if you start building yourself as an individual, your business will grow. It's going to grow automatically. So anyway, we just invite you to the UOP, invite you to click on the link below. And all right, thank you.
Well, now I know I said I have just one last question. But
Val does these things for her. I am convinced, okay? Like, Val, okay.
I mean, because, you know, when you have an opportunity, when you have a winning woman panel and you have an opportunity to ask questions, well, I'm going to ask my questions too. I know a lot of you want to know, especially since, you know, Tiffany is the boss queen, okay? It's the boss of Twitter. So can we expect a Twitter training to come from you anytime soon? Do you have one already? Like, you know, what's going on? Because now I'm sure people are going, Twitter. Mm-hmm. And now, is there something we can get from you?
Well, keep listening out.
All right.
There will be something coming out soon by the end of the summer.
Oh, nice. And if those of you who are, you're missing out on seeing her live, she's going to be in Chicago sharing, was it Twitter? I'm not going to share the Twitter stuff she's sharing. But yeah, there we go. So Tiffany, PPC, okay. So I didn't even know you can do PPC on Twitter. Like I just thought I knew everything, and clearly I don't know much. So I think it's great. So Tiffany's going to be live in Chicago training on Twitter, and then can you imagine what she's going to come out with? I think it's just phenomenal. So I'm going to let the audience ask questions because I know I've taken up plenty of time.
Well, that was one of their questions. Can we expect you to come out with a Twitter training product?
Yeah, say that 10 times.
It said Miss Boss Lady, okay?
Miss Boss Lady.
That's what they are wanting. So that is cool that the listening audience.
The reason why I'm taking a little bit of time to come out with that, because Twitter is just a platform to be able to engage with. It really is going to be talking about more social media, including Twitter. So looking at the psychology of people and how they think and how they respond to social media in addition to Twitter. So it's going to be a little bit more concept of just Twitter. So keep your eyes out. I think it'll be worth the money when it comes out.
Awesome. So somebody's saying, what's PPC? If you don't know what it is, it's pay per click. Pay per click. So yeah, so definitely be looking out. That was really good. One of your boss lady tips I posted was to build a community. Mm-hmm. And that's something that I always tell people, like when I talk to them and they're like, well, I don't know who to who's my target market. And I'm like, who are you? Build a community around who you are. So if you're a stay-at-home mom, you speak the language of stay-at-home mom. You guys have a whole little thing that you talk. If you are whatever you do, right? If homeschooling moms, that's a whole nother community that you guys talk a certain language. You guys know about all that kind of stuff. So it's like really knowing. I really like how you did that, because that's what we did with the Winning Women Network. Right? That's what we did with the Unit of Prosperity. And it's like we're always teaching. Honestly, if you really pay attention, we're always teaching. If you look at what Reginald did, Unit of Prosperity, he built a community, built things around this community, and built, and it's the same thing with the Women Network, right? It's a community of women. We have a common thread that runs among us, and we just branch off from there. So that was a good tip. If you guys don't take that away from here tonight, you really missed a valuable marketing. That's a valuable marketing tip, because all companies, with their Facebook and everything they do, they're building a community of people on their fan pages, okay? On their fan pages. It's not Facebook training, but this is what's happening. They're building communities on their Facebook of buyers, that people that will, are with them. They're, buy what they put out, what products they put out, and everything, and they don't mind investing in the community in which they are a part of. That's one of Maslow's. I think it's one of Maslow's hierarchy of needs, and one of them is belonging. People want to belong to something, so create a community where they can belong.
That's right. And can I add to that? When I built the page, I invited people to come to this support group for Curvy Women Want to Be Healthy, and I did a challenge. Right now, if you guys see me, I'm not the most athletic person, but why would someone pay to be a part of my challenge to help them be healthier? Right? It's because you built that community, and they trust you enough to feel like you will provide some value to help them reach their goals. So I'm not a weight loss guru. I don't look like I'm buff out every day, but that community that I built, they was willing to pay to be a part of that challenge. So now I have customers and a community that will pay money, right? Mm-hmm. So you gotta build your community. It doesn't matter what it is, So I think people think so much about internet marketing. Oh my God, you teach PPC, you to teach how to create a capture page, and that's great to do. But your strong point is something totally different. You have a whole audience that'll be willing to listen to you. So, but yeah.
Yeah, how to write a book. I mean, there are people who pay you to be a part of a challenge, a book club, or something to learn how to write their first book, if you know how to do that. I mean, there's just so many, like you said, there's so many ways, and we get so zoned in on just this little small area, and there's a lot of ways, to make money. And as an entrepreneur, this is the thing I like to tell people, like, you're an entrepreneur. You get paid, you make money, you pay your bills from being creative and innovative and creating products and putting that into the marketplace for people, to swipe their credit cards. The welfare system is set up to give things away for free all the time, okay? And if you're an entrepreneur who all you want to do is give away stuff for free, you will end up on the welfare system.
That's true. Mm-hmm. That's true.
So provide value. I like how, and I wouldn't even think Tiffany, I would not have even thought Tiffany and weight loss and curvy, get healthy, nothing like that. But I'm so excited for you because you know what? That's, heck yeah, be innovative and creative and have a buy button and be okay with it. And be flipping okay with the buy button, right?
Absolutely. And then, using your internet marketing skills, using the things you're learning, I was able to do Facebook ad. Now I have a list of people who are on my list, right? I have created a list, and now I won't necessarily tell them about DS Domination directly, but they're in my group. I say, hey, watch me tonight, or, here's something I'm doing, or hang out with me tonight. And by you connecting with them, they really perceive you as being a person of value, right? You don't have to be an expert. Here's the thing. You don't have to be an expert. You just have to give more value than the next person. You don't have to be an expert. Just give more value than the next person. And then people will begin to follow you, and they begin to trust you and want to just hang around you. And, they will pay for what you have, so.
They should tweet that. You don't have to be an expert. You just got to give more value than the experts. Yeah. That might be too many characters for tweeters. You don't have to be an expert, okay? Tweet that. You don't have to be an expert. Tweet that out. Okay?
Just give them value. Yeah.
Wow, that's good.
That's a really good point. I spoke to someone who was a teacher a couple months ago. We were just talking, and she's a 5th grade math teacher. And so I said, "Oh wow!" I said, "That's really impressive. It sounds like a lot of work." And she says, "No, not really. All you have to do is be one day ahead of your students."
Wow.
That's it. You just need to be one step ahead. And I was like, I never thought of it like that. So that's perfect. You just have to give more value than someone else. I love it. Do we have any other questions for Tiffany here? Let me refresh the page.
I know.
I'm going to end up asking her more of my own.
Somebody said repeat that, Tiffany. Good afternoon, everyone.
Basically what I was saying is that you don't have to be an expert. A lot of times you think you have to be an expert at something in order to teach people, or for people to follow you, or for people to buy your product, but you really don't. You just have to give more value than the next person, because sometimes the experts just don't give the value for whatever reason. They're not sharing the content with you. But if you give the value more than the next person, you're going to be considered by somebody else an expert, and even if you're not. So just give more value.
Wow, that's good. That's life changing right there. Now that right there is definitely that's worth every minute we've sat here tonight. I'm not kidding you. That right there, somebody should run off from here tonight and and think about how can you put more value in the marketplace, because that's the one thing I learned, Tiffany. The marketplace will pay you in direct proportion to the value that it receives from you, that you put into it. So if you want to make more money, give more value. I mean, it's a real simple equation. It's not really hard in rocket science, but we want to make it like, make it rocket science, but it's not.
Yeah.
We're not.
It really isn't.
Wow. Here's a question. You mentioned about getting organized this year. So the question is, what's the number one thing you would tell someone in order to get reorganized for 2015?
Okay. I would tell you to get a system in place. All right. Now, if you can do this, what I'm suggesting, I highly recommend it. You can. If not, I still suggest you get a system. I decided that my time was more valuable because there are a lot of things on my plate that I want to accomplish this year. So I hired someone to help me do stuff that I don't need to do anymore, or I feel like I don't need to do anymore. All right. So if you want to get organized, number one, figure out what can you outsource. Now, I know we all went to Atlanta, and we got a lot of golden nuggets from Atlanta. But when Jennifer said it again to me, it just made me realize that I have way too much stuff going on. I'm trying to do way too much stuff, and I need to give it up. Maybe that's a little bit of the controlling me, but I need to give it up, and I did that. And so I'm working on getting even more systems in place so that it would leverage me to really focus on what I need to focus on to, number one, create more content, to get more value, and to really build my business and my brand the way I want to build it. So that means I don't need to be posting on my page every day. I can get someone else to do that. I get someone to help me source items because I don't have time to do that. I still review items, but I don't source them anymore. I get someone to help me do that. Okay? For me, that's time that I don't have when I come from my 8 hours at work. I don't have an extra 2 hours to continue to source items. That's me, though, right? But find a system that works for you and be willing to give something up, right? Be willing to let someone help you give it up Okay, you don't have to control everything, women. Okay, give something up to allow someone to help you. All right, to get to the success that you want to get to in the end. So that was my thing. I mean, honestly, I'm, my project manager. I'm running this. I'm in, in control. And I was like, you know what? I don't really need to be in control because I don't have the people to work for me like I do at my job. I have to do it all. Here I can say, okay, I need those labels created, and someone prints out labels. Here if I need labels created for my FBA business, I got to print them out myself, So, just finding what things that I don't need to be doing, having someone else to do that, and leveraging your time. If you got kids, leverage your kids, okay? Leverage your kids. But create systems around what you need. That's my suggestion, so.
Yeah, that's a good suggestion. I just had my son do some labeling. I had about 200 products sitting on my floor. I was like, listen here. He was like, okay, Mom. I took a nap. I woke back up, and he is done. I was like, I appreciate you.
Yeah.
Because I can pay Amazon $200, or I can pay you $25. That's child labor. I know. That's wrong. That's so wrong. But don't tell him like that.
It's leveraging your time. You really have to figure out, okay, even today, if I get these systems in place today, getting someone to help me, even we was talking about like getting your housework, getting someone to help you today, getting systems in place today, it's just going to free up your time and your mind to be able to focus on your business. Stop, I put a post on Facebook the other day about having an emotion to money. People don't want to spend money because they feel like I need to have it. Get the emotion away from money, all right? And realize what your end goal is. My end goal is to build my Amazon account, as much as possible. I'm not going to say like Dante or Becky, but just to build it as much as Tiffany's going to build it this year. I have an income goal, but I don't want to compare myself to other people either. But I have a goal to reach. And so in order for me to reach that goal, I can't be doing some of these, 5-cent, $1 tasks. I can't do it. Not with my schedule,
Wow.
Take the emotion away from it. Invest in your business, not just in the programs, but into your business. Remember, you're in a business, right? So some business people have admins, they have secretaries, they have all these, invest in your business. Once you get it set up, you guys, I guarantee you it's going to run a lot smoother. I guarantee you will. I mean, you don't go to work and do everything. You have departments. You got people to do different jobs. There's a system in place for that because everyone can focus on what they need to focus on, and you can focus on your job. And if everyone focus together, product would be made in my case. We'll get product made and shipped out the door. Yeah.
That's powerful. So you're saying, put on a boss lady or a boss man, okay? So for the men that are listening, put on a boss lady hat, and look at your business that way.
Yeah. Tiffany, when you were deciding to reorganize your life and your business, and you decided to start to, I know, right? You start to decide, what, I'm going to have someone else do this for me or outsource something. What is one of the first things you outsource? What's one of the things you said, what, this is not a boss lady duty I should be taking care of. I should let someone else do that. What was the first thing that you just let go?
Searching for items on eBay.
Well.
No, seriously. And I know that's the key point of your business, but I start off saying, okay, this is what I need you to do. I mean, I've had so many training videos with my team, right? So I have a team, and I record my webinars, so I have content already created. I was like, this is what I need you to do. I need you to find the items. This is the price margin. I need you to provide me 2 suppliers, all right? You need a primary supplier and a backup supplier. I need you to give me the pictures already clipped. I don't want to be looking for pictures. All right, so, and I need you to send them to me. And I need this amount per day.
Boss lady.
There you go.
She said 2 sources, okay? That was a tip, guys. That was a good tip. 2 sources.
2 sources, because if one runs out of stock, we know how it goes. There's another one we can, we can go and look for. And it helped me. So now I have items. And now the second thing, I'm training them on something else. So again, for me, that's what I needed to give up, right? I needed to give that up.
Love it. I love it. So, I mean, we talk about leveraging your time. I mean, here's a part of your business that you talk about income producing activity. There's a major income producing activity, and she's outsourced. Yes. Now she saves herself time, and we all know time is money. Mm-hmm. So, oh my God, I wrote that down. I was like,
right. Because the cool thing, I guess, it's a mindset thing. Because for me, I've always once I learned that process, and then I've always used Odesk, right? And it was like I automatically went to Odesk. It was like, who can do this, right? Because that's not really. I mean, I want to be a reviewer, so I want you to find it, and I want to do a CEO task, The CEO task is for me to look at products and make a decision on what I'm going to sell. That was how I looked at it. It was like I didn't really, so I know some people be like, well, that's really, our business and stuff like that. It's like, yeah, but you don't, no one said you had to be the one in your company, right? I had to do that particular, like, I don't have to answer the phone. Like, I don't have to be the receptionist, even though, it's part of my business, but I don't have to be, I can hire someone, train them, and say, okay, when you answer the phone, this is what you say. If they, in all sorts of processes that you can say, okay, do I have to personally be involved in this process? My videos, nobody can get on the camera and do my videos. They need my face, right? You know what I'm saying? Like, maybe somebody has the technology where, it could be like, that's kind of a good invention, right? Maybe there's a camera, where it's like, it can like put your face there, but it's somebody else doing the videos. I know I think too much. But, I just say, what do I have to be personally involved in? And if I don't have to be personally involved in, then it's like, well, is this a $10 task? What kind of task is this on the, on the totem pole? And some stuff, it's out of the delegate.
Yeah, absolutely. I totally agree. I knew that, but it just, a light bulb went off at the Atlanta event. And a lot of people got a lot of information from the Atlanta event about, feedback, and that was great. It was great for me as well about, Jesse's tips and all, all these different tips people got from Nikki, which were awesome tips, by the way, you guys. Awesome, awesome tips. But if I don't have any time to do it, so for me, Jennifer's her training was number one for me at the Atlanta event, because that just opened my eyes. So get to the event. If you guys going to Chicago, get to the event. You never know what piece of information is going to be just a turning point in your business. You're looking figure out how to sell more items, but your whole life is in disarray. You don't have a schedule of anything going on. You're having a system, but your whole life is disarray. You don't have time to focus on training because the kids are crying in the background. I mean, you just really got to get your life in order and a system in place for whatever your life is, so you can really take full advantage of your business and really take it to the next level. So I don't care what business you're in. I don't care if you're selling shoestrings. You got to get some order in your business.
I think I'm going to take this last question, and I'm going to give it to you, Tiffany. Let's see here. So someone says, I see Monopoly working. Mm-hmm. Should I let go of eBay and Pro? I have 5 children and I'm very busy. I need help to get this going. Should I focus on Amazon?
Okay, I can't really answer that question for you. What I will say, if Amazon is working for you, work Amazon. If you don't have the time to focus on for eBay, and for some reason you can't find anyone else to help you manage the inventory or anything, I don't know how old your kids are, maybe they can help you manage the inventory, then maybe you shouldn't do it. I think you should always post on eBay if you can manage it in some sort of way, because it's now free money. It's instant cash. That could be your money for the week for your children's daycare or for your children's lunch. But if Amazon is the only thing that's working, if you only have time, if you feel like you only have time for Amazon, then just focus on Amazon. That means you need to give it your all to make up for the money you're not getting on eBay. Okay? Don't overwhelm yourself. Never overwhelm yourself. But, I mean, again, if you can find a way to still do eBay, maybe have someone, like I said before, to manage your inventory, help you out that way, because that's instant cash, you guys. A ching-ching is in your PayPal account. But Amazon, focus on what's making you money. Hey, focus on what's making you money.
That's good. Because usually, busy, overwhelmed, and we're going to let y'all go, but usually, busy, overwhelmed, and stuff like that, it means that you're not clear. You're not clear, right? And so, and I like how Tiffany said, taking the first quarter to get organized, to get clear, to know, what am I doing? So maybe that's what you need to do is really, because if you don't find the time, you'll find the time to do whatever you want to do.
Yeah, that's true.
So if you don't find the time to list on eBay, you won't find the time to list on Amazon either. It ain't gonna be no different. So it's about getting clear about your business and your goals, and go from there is what I would really say.
Sure.
Awesome.
Well, I think we are. Oh, are we past the hour? I was gonna ask Tiffany another question. Okay.
You're going in the after show, okay? So We gotta start recording Winning Women Network, the after show, okay?
I do this every single time in a spotlight. I do this every single time where I go over and I'm like, oh, I got another question, so I'm going to stop. I want to take the time and just to say thank you, number one, to Tiffany for taking the time, her busy time, to spend an hour, well, hour and a half, hour 45 minutes with us tonight. I really appreciate it. I got so much value from it, and I'm thinking about other ways that I can grow my business. So I want to thank you for that, because I don't know everything, and I never will, and I never want to. So it's always great when I can just get a golden nugget from myself. And I want to thank Keisha Bass for her idea for the Winning Women Network and allowing me to be on here to interview Tiffany and have a platform, and I want to thank her. And then I want to thank everyone who's watching tonight. You could be doing anything tonight, okay? You could be watching TV, you could be making dinner, you could be going out, you could be doing anything, but you were here with us tonight. So I want to say thank you, because that shows your commitment to your business, to our community, and you're going to get nothing but value from us every time you hang out with us. And my last message is for those who are considering joining DS Domination, and you may have questions. You may say, well, what exactly is this? You got two things you can do. One, there's a button up above that says, get more information or join our team. But more importantly, get back to the person who gave you this link. Get back to the person who you can speak to and get some answers, because you're never going to be able to create the success. You're never going to be able to get the checks, be on the stage, create a extra income for yourself if you don't get started. But get your questions answered. And lastly, believe in yourself. As Tiffany said, e-commerce is not going anywhere. There's someone always buying. But you have to believe that you can do this. And we hope that with these stories, with the spotlight, that we encourage you and let you see that one person at a time, they're making a difference for themselves and for other people, and that we want to see you and help you do the same. And join us tomorrow. Tomorrow is our Monday night hangout, and get the link from the person who gave you this one and hear about some more inspirational stories to learn exactly how people are building a business online without the stress anymore, without the home parties, without getting on the phone. It doesn't have to be that hard. So I want to wish you a wonderful evening, and thank you all again for spending your time with us. Have a great night. Oh, wait. Bash, you got something to say?
You're so funny. Like, I really didn't have any more to say, because but I do want to remind people, or actually announce to people, that the Unit of Prosperity is actually starting tomorrow. Prosperity Mindset Calls. I don't know what Reginald has a name for it, actually. So for me, I just called it a prosperity coaching call. Okay, so I said mindset. He just sent me a message and said coaching. So anyways, but tomorrow you guys want to tune in. It's actually going to be, you can dial in. So dial in from your job or whatever you're doing to the same number for the prayer call at 9 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. It's noon Eastern Time for some midday motivation, some uplifting. We got some great people that are going to be coming out to really share their hearts with you all. So tune in. I'm sure we'll have an image and things like that we'll be able to share. We're actually, Valerie's going to be on there one day of the week. I'll call in and listen. I don't need to be on I don't need to do anything. But anyways, one day, he wants me to talk one day, so we're going to be there one day. But anyways, guys, tune in. This is what things we're doing to build this community, right? As Tiffany said, this is what we're doing to build the community, to uplift people, to build us up internally, because you will only make as much money as your self-image. You won't make more money than you won't outgrow your own self-image. Okay, and I'll probably talk about that next week. Actually, that's a good point for me to talk about. So you guys have a good night. I love you. We'll see you all tomorrow. Midday motivation, all kind of stuff, hangouts. We keep it rolling. Okay, we ain't going nowhere. Bye.
All right, good night.